welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to, well, to trying to make sense of it all without getting totally lost in the noise.
There's just so much coming at us.
Exactly. And today, Friday, August 29, 2025, it's kind of a perfect example of that weird split we see all the time. You've got this one event sparking just a huge, genuine joy everywhere.
Yeah, really cutting through.
But then there's everything else. This constant stream of really complex, sometimes pretty heavy news stories, all fighting for space, you know?
Yep.
So today, our mission is to slice through that overload. We'll pull out the key stuff from our sources and try to figure out not just what grabs everyone's attention, but maybe why.
It's a real challenge, isn't it?
Mhm.
Every single day, just wading through headlines. It can feel impossible sometimes to know what's really significant.
Right.
Or why one story just blows up globally, becomes this touchstone, while others, maybe just as important, barely make a ripple.
Yeah.
So yeah, this deep dive should give you some context, help you see the currents underneath it all.
All right, so let's unpack this. We have to start with the big one, the headline from today that everyone's talking about. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce engagement sparks global excitement. Now, beyond the usual, celebrity stuff, what is it about this? Why did this hit so hard, become this huge, shared celebration?
Well, what's really fascinating here, I think, is that it's not just another celebrity thing. It feels more like a cultural milestone.
Okay, how so?
You got Taylor Swift. I mean, she's this massive global music icon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unparalleled. And then Travis Kelce, NFL superstar. It's not just two famous people. It's like these two huge cultural worlds, music and sports, are converging.
Ah, right, that blend.
Exactly. And that creates this narrative that just speaks to way more people. For a lot of younger fans especially, it's being seen as like proof that love can actually work, even with all that crazy public pressure.
So it's aspiration.
Totally. It's like it's giving them this sort of blueprint almost.
Yeah.
And it's actually shifting conversations, in the mainstream about things like romance, loyalty, shared dreams. It's pretty significant.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, the aspirational blueprint idea. It feels like it goes beyond just, oh, look at the famous people. It seems to be genuinely inspiring, especially for younger folks. I mean, in a world that feels pretty uncertain a lot of the time, maybe their story reinforces things people want to believe in, like trust, support, being authentic.
Yeah, definitely.
Swift's always been about that emotional honesty in her music, right? And Kelce, well, he represents determination, sportsmanship. Together, it's this image of, resilience, partnership.
Yeah.
And it cuts through the cynicism somehow.
Absolutely. And we connect that to the wider impact, the psychological side. This announcement genuinely seemed to just spread happiness globally.
You really saw it online.
Oh, completely. You saw the trending hashtags, fan art, heartfelt messages. They just exploded everywhere, right? Instantly. And that massive outpouring, that collective joy, it really shows how this specific story, this narrative of love and commitment, it just jumps over borders, languages, different cultures. It tapped into something really basic, that universal human thing of wanting connection, wanting something to celebrate together. It created this shared feeling that not many other stories managed to do.
So, okay, it's way more than just entertainment. It's not just a flash in the pan. This thing has real social, maybe even emotional weight for loads of people.
Precisely. Think about it for people going through their own stuff, right? Maybe feeling lonely or struggling in relationships or just, the daily grind. Seeing their idols find this really visible happiness, it often provides comfort. It's not just, oh, that's nice. It creates this powerful, vicarious feeling.
Like if it can happen for them.
Exactly. If they can find that happiness, then maybe real love and personal growth are possible, even under pressure for me too. The article summed it up really well, saying it's a cultural celebration that inspires young generations, spreads joy globally, and proves the unifying power of love in modern times. Wow. It gives this shot of collective hope right in the everyday life. It's almost like therapeutic identification for some people.
That's a really powerful take on the impact of just one announcement. But okay, let's zoom out. What does all this mean when you look at the rest of the world on August 29, 2025?
Yeah, the contrast.
Right. While everyone's feeling this global joy about the engagement, what other news, often much heavier stuff, was fighting for attention? From the exact same source, Phoenix, on the very same day. Let's do a quick rapid-fire tour for you just to see the landscape.
Okay, good idea. Because on that same day, politically, things were, incredibly busy and varied.
Yeah.
Domestically, here in the U.S., you had reports like Marjorie Taylor Greene breaks with Trump, a MAGA rift deepens.
Okay, internal party stuff.
Yeah, suggesting some pretty big shifts inside a major political group. Then internationally, headlines like weakening Colombia's democracy, Uribe Iturbe killed in rally. That's a major political figure assassinated, pointing to deep divisions. And weakening Iran, a multi-layered plan to erase national power, hinting at serious geopolitical maneuvers and instability. Then there was Canada-U.S. military cooperation in 2025, about alliances, but also things like fires that smell like politics, the Islamic Republic between Israel's revenge and playing with Iranian lives.
Wow, complex stuff. Blame games, regional tensions.
Exactly.
Real mix.
Quite the range there. Okay, so that's politics. What about the economy? What was happening there?
Economically, just as mixed, really. You saw growth and decline side by side. Bitcoin surges to new heights was a big one.
Crypto's always moving.
Yeah, and Bitcoin outlook amid Trump-Putin meeting, tying it to geopolitics. But then traditional retail was struggling. Claire's files for bankruptcy amid retail decline.
Trade tensions were still a thing, too. Headlines like Trump-Canada tariff tensions. Ford calls Trump most disliked. And Canada's job market at risk amid rising U.S. tariffs. So potential trouble there.
Right.
But then you also had Canadian housing market returns to pre-pandemic normal, maybe suggesting some stability coming back after all the craziness.
So yeah, definitely a mixed bag on the economic front. And tech. Tech always feels like it's moving at warp speed, changing everything.
Oh, absolutely. And that day was no different. You had big product news like Apple Intelligence AI Suite debuts in Canada.
Right, Apple's AI push.
And then competition heating up. The entry of a competing conversational chatbot to iPhones, introducing Chatbot X. So lots of innovation, lots of rivalry in AI.
But not all good news, I guess.
No, definitely not. You had really critical issues surfacing, like Meta's fact-checkers battle wildfire conspiracies as their jobs face the axe. That highlights the whole struggle with misinformation and, the human cost of trying to manage it.
That's a tough one.
And then something even more disturbing, this legal case. An autistic teen's parents say character. AI said it was okay to kill them. They're suing to take down the app.
Oh my God.
Yeah, raising massive questions about AI safety, ethics, guardrails, really serious stuff. And just on a practical level, thousands of users report ChatGPT outage.
Even the AI needs a break sometimes.
Apparently so. Shows how much we rely on these things and how fragile they can still be.
So yeah, from cutting edge to really, really concerning ethical problems. Tech was definitely busy. Okay, finally, what about other cultural stuff floating around that day?
Culturally, it was quite a rich mix, too. You had nods to lasting legacies like Clint Eastwood at 95, still grit, still Gunsmoke.
95, wow.
Incredible, right?
Yeah.
Then efforts to preserve history, like restoring Syria's lost heritage after the fall of Bashar al-Assad, showing that rebuilding effort. And new discoveries. Royal relics rediscovered. Medieval treasures found in Lithuanian cathedral.
Cool. Bringing history alive.
Yeah. And then looking forward, people were excited about the 40 most anticipated books of 2025. So, our ongoing hunger for new stories, new ideas.
It really is a striking contrast when you lay it all out like that, isn't it?
It really is.
On the one side, this massive shared celebration over a very personal story love commitment. And on the other, just this relentless flood of political shifts, economic worries, tech breakthroughs, scary ethical questions, all crammed into the same 24 hours. The sheer amount of it and how different it all feels compared to that main story.
Yeah.
It really hammers home that feeling of information overload, doesn't it? All these things demanding our attention.
And that brings up a really important question, I think, for all of us. How do we actually square that? How do we reconcile this huge global focus on one moment of, pure joy, the Swift Kelce thing, with this backdrop of really complex, often worrying, difficult world events?
Yeah.
It's not about saying one is good and one is bad or ignoring one for the other. It's more about understanding that maybe we kind of need both narratives in our lives.
That hits right at the core of it, doesn't it? Why do you, listening right now, gravitate so much towards these stories, these moments of shared happiness, when there's so much else going on that arguably needs our serious attention, maybe even our worry? Is it just wanting to escape? Or is there something more to it?
Oh, I think it's definitely deeper than just escapism. The Swift Kelce story, it offers something clear, positive, and something that unites people. And that's actually pretty rare, isn't it, amidst the news cycle we just went through?
Yeah.
Which is often abstract or fragmented or just plain negative.
Yeah, that's true. It's simple in a way.
It is. It acts as this vital, like, cultural touchstone. It gives people a shared emotional experience, and that acts as a really important counterpoint to all the complexity and the crises out
A
there.
counterpoint, like a balance.
Exactly, like a balance.
Yeah.
Psychologically, you could even say these stories help us regulate our emotions. When you're constantly hit with problems, with bad news, the human mind naturally looks for balance, for something positive.
Mm.
And a story like this gives a tangible reminder that, hey, love and personal growth are possible, even with all the world's pressures. It creates this sense of collective hope, a little bit of optimism. And maybe that actually helps us process the other stuff without just getting completely overwhelmed or shutting down.
So it's not necessarily tuning out the bad stuff.
No, I don't think so. It's more like it allows us to feel something positive, to celebrate, connect as humans before we turn back to face the more demanding realities.
All right.
It's not a distraction from the world's problems. Maybe it's more like a coping mechanism for dealing with them, giving us that foundation of positive feelings so we can actually engage with the hard topics.
What an interesting way to look at it. That duality from Friday, August 29, 2025,
Mm.
a day with this profound global celebration tapping into really basic human needs for connection, for hope,
Hmm.
and at the exact same time, this nonstop stream of political, economic, tech changes that are shaping everything around us.
Indeed. And it leaves us and you with a question to think about, really, as you go through your own daily news intake.
Yeah.
What role do these unifying moments of joy actually play in our collective mind, our psyche? Do we, as a society, actually need these big cultural celebrations to sort of balance out the weight of all the other news, to help us stay engaged with the world without just burning out or becoming numb?
Something to definitely consider.
Yeah, something for you to chew on as you filter through everything that comes your way each day.